Now, there's a big debate among Bible scholars as to whether or not this is a parable or it's an actual story. Well, the truth is that parables are all based on real life stories in the sense of they're based on, let me say it like this, they're based on reality. They're not fiction. When Jesus said a sower went out to sow, that's true to life. That's consistent with reality. Sowers went out and sowed seed. When Jesus said that a man went to a wedding, people went to weddings. When man said that he was beaten by robbers on the road to Jerusalem, that happened. So all parables, listen to me carefully, all parables are based in reality. But the question is whether or not this is actually a true story that Jesus knew about. And the reason why we wonder about that is because in no other parables, listen carefully, does Jesus ever name an individual. He said a certain man, a certain woman. He never ever names anyone in a parable, which would indicate that this possibly is not a parable, although it's given in parabolic form, that Jesus was relating an actual man named Lazarus and an actual rich guy, which he doesn't name because the focus is on the man Lazarus. Now, there's actually 3 people named in the parable: Lazarus, Abraham, and Moses. So it's unique as a parable is. But those who say that it's a parable often say it because they want to deny the reality of life after death. They want to deny the soul being conscious after death. They teach what's called the doctrine of soul sleep. And I'll just let you know who many of them are. Seventh-day Adventism. Seventh-day Adventists teach that when you die, you go poof, and you no longer exist. You go to sleep, they say. And that in the resurrection, you'll be risen up and you'll come back alive. There's no consciousness after you die. It is actually called the doctrine of soul sleep. The soul doesn't sleep. It doesn't sleep because it doesn't have a body. I sleep because I have a body. If I was just a soul, I wouldn't need to sleep. So it's not teaching the doctrine of soul sleep. It's teaching that there's consciousness and awareness after we die and beyond the grave. So what's my idea? What do I believe? I tend to believe that it's an actual story, but I don't reject the possibility that it's a parable. And I have no problem with it being a parable because all parables are based on reality. There's a reality behind the parable. There's a meaning behind the parable. So what it's teaching is still real. There is a hell, there is a heaven, there's life after the death. The wicked do go to hell. They are in torment. There's no way to escape. It's very graphic, very clear, the things that we learn about beyond the grave in this story.